singing in bathhouses.
Correct.
Do you know that for a fact?
Yes.
He sings in bathhouses?
No, he said Barry Manilow got his start by singing in bathhouses.
Yeah.
Was that like when they went in too deep, he made that noise kind of singing?
No, they have singers. They have live entertainment in those bathhouses.
In bathhouses? Is
In
it like a
bathhouses.
jazz trio?
No, they're gay bathhouses.
Well, maybe we could do a podcast in one of those bathhouses.
That's how Bette Midler got her start
That's
as
a
well.
horrible idea.
Well, we don't have to
wrong with
look at
you?
it. We'd be behind like one of those opaque glass screens where we can't.
Oh, but you can't really see what's going on or who it is.
That's it.
Except there's a guy going, ooh, ooh.
Oh, well, we could be crotchless underneath the table so no one sees. So
Crotchless?
Yeah.
What?
Hey, I'm not trying to be a dick, but I'm out.
Yeah, Sean, you can do this solo.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm out too. Actually, I'm out. I didn't really want to
Good.
get involved.
He's
Yeah,
rethinking.
thanks
I started
for-
thinking about the Barry Manilow thing and the whole singing and how big his butt has to be able to
handle all that.
yeah.
Well, that
So,
was a short intro.
It is already November. We've skipped a couple weeks
We
because
have.
Paul was
Gallivanting around the world yet
yeah,
again.
Yeah,
Okay,
he was
not
hanging
around the
on
world. That was my elk hunt.
hanging out of the
Did you do-
Pikes Peak of Colorado.
Did you do any
No.
hunting?
Wrong area. Way west.
Oh, sorry. Colorado's a big place.
It is a big place. Yeah.
And
Not
evidently
really.
it's so big that the elk weren't there.
Yeah.
They weren't.
They're in this guy's front yard
Yeah.
and at the football game.
Unbelievable.
All right.
I
Well,
love
this
that.
dude's like us. I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Jeff.
And we've got football stories coming up.
Yeah.
We've got some fantastic deaths. Today is November
Wow.
8th. And
Somebody wanted
we
to
have-
die?
It's what? November 8th is
No,
election day.
election day.
Election day.
So it's very exciting. We've got some hot stuff coming up, and we're going to try to pull up that website that keeps us up to date. But what is that website?
It is Biden.com. I don't know.
know. I don't know.
I don't
Well,
know.
any news site, Fox will do it.
Any of them. Yeah, there's a million. of them.
CNN, MSNBC.
But it's kind of what's the point? Because they've already told us we're not going to find out for weeks.
yeah, they've already laid the groundwork that
It's so
for
complicated. Something's
the
changed.
bullshit.
Yeah, it's so difficult now. They
Well,
can't count them like they did before.
Well, I mentioned earlier when we were talking before the show, and I was like, when my parents, I remember as a kid, when my parents were voting, it was all paper, and they knew that night.
Absolutely.
Even-
Even the presidency,
Yeah.
they knew that night.
Even when I started voting when I was 18, 30 years
A
ago,
long time ago.
you still knew.
Yeah.
So this is a relatively new
It totally
phenomena, and I don't understand why. Because if it's all electronic,
Right.
Theoretically, that's you want to improve, right? So it's like any business. You want to improve the process to make it faster and easier.
It is no reason.
We're going backwards.
Absolutely. And you know what? We can all have some hot sports opinions on that one, but I know my theory.
Well, I think
It opens the door to find more ballots.
that, and I think the Dems found a recipe. I don't know when it was. It was after Bush, because that was the whole Chad thing. Remember
Oh, hanging Chad.
the hanging Chad, and I remember Florida took a week because of that whole thing.
Yeah, they
Everything
had to-
else was fine.
They had to hand inspect every single ballot.
Yeah.
Well, currently, we were talking about Herschel Walker. I know he's up by a couple points now. They've got almost 1.2 million people vote, and Democrats up 55.8%. Herschel's 42.6%.
No way.
And they say that's 24% reporting.
No way. It
Huh?
can't be that big of a lead for.
Well, that's what it says right now.
What are those numbers again? 55 to 42?
55.8 to 42.6.
No fucking way.
And Alabama is Republican super strong, 75 to 24.
Where's that?
Alabama.
Oh, Alabama.
But that's
yeah.
1% reporting.
Right.
yeah.
you know.
I don't like looking at it this early.
Oh, it just gives you anxiety.
Yeah, it's crazy. Rand Paul, 58.9%. Over 41.1.
About J.D. Vance in Ohio. Anything there?
Ohio,
Way over.
yeah. Whoops. The Tim Ryan is up 60.4 over J.D. Vance, 39.6.
Yeah, that won't hold.
Yeah, it's 9% voting though. So I mean, right now the GOP is, or the House sits at 38 Dems, 34 Republicans.
Yeah, my fear is we're going to wake up tomorrow and this supposed red wave is not actualized.
And we don't win the Senate.
Correct. Or the House.
Oh God.
And they're going to say
There's
this is a
no
referendum
way.
on our stuff.
There's literally no way that can happen. Like legitimately, in my opinion. But hey, that's just me.
We'll see.
No, and that's right.
We'll
But
see.
too bad
We
we
said
can't
this-
hear
we-
the producer because he doesn't have a microphone.
2 years ago, we said the same thing with Biden. There's no way he's going to win. What happened?
No, I mean legitimately.
What happened?
He didn't win legitimately.
He won. Well, regardless, he's won. He's in the office.
I tell you, I'm frustrated. How do you change this? I don't know. How do we change this?
I don't know.
What do we do? I mean, do we have to go to war?
You're using the wrong
Go
QC.
to war.
Is it? Do we seriously? I mean, what do we do to fix this? Who do
didn't
we
you-
battle?
Well, didn't you say someone said that if Herschel Walker wins, there's going to be a civil war?
Well, that was Howard Stern who
Howard
was,
Stern.
was speaking his frickin' mind.
He said,
You
if
know,
those idiots, or what did he say?
the Howard Stern quote.
I think he called them idiots,
Is it-
but
is-
basically he was dogging anybody that could
Yeah.
vote for Herschel Walker. So
yeah.
anyway, and then of course Obama insulted him. Remember that?
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Oh yeah, he said he's an ignorant celebrity that has no business being in politics.
Right.
Right, and he was qualified to be in politics.
He had no qualifications.
I don't remember him having
Oh,
qualifications.
was
are you
Senate-
talking about Obama?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he went straight in from running an Oscar Myers daycare straight into
Yeah.
Well, he was a
Senate
senator.
seat.
He was
Yeah.
a Senate. Then he was that for about a year or
Right.
two, and then he was
and didn't vote all that much apparently
yeah
because he was too
Community
busy just
community
hobnobbing.
community
You know
organizer.
what? Whatever. Throw stones. Look, I like. Besides, I don't like Obama's policies at all. I think he's crooked, conniving, but he speaks eloquently. And did you dig the fucking mustache sitting above his eyes? Did
What?
he used to, like, as president? I don't recall his eyebrows being so
Oh,
bushy.
he's penciling
No, I mean, right now,
God,
Obama's
what's wrong with him?
eyebrows look like Saddam Hussein's mustache.
So they just saw like a big old caterpillar.
They're just, I mean, they're bigger. He was out on a speech the other day supporting Biden, and they just looked, they weren't groomed. Let's put it that way.
Well, maybe he hadn't had them.
It
waxed
kind of
or-
looked like Michelle Obama's crotch. I mean,
Oh,
it was just
wow.
like two
Wow.
big bushels of hair above the
Just kinda-
eyebrows.
kind
Wow.
of jiggling
Wow. What, and a bulge? You mean?
a bulge.
Bulge.
Whatever. I don't want those
you-
stones out of it.
Did
You
you
know-
hear that there's a rumor that he wants to be a part owner of the Phoenix Suns?
Yes, I heard.
And I'm
that.
thinking to myself, that was just, he goes from being like not a millionaire to being able to buy the Suns
Well, he
as a part owner.
Well, how much money has Netflix paid him? How much money has Spotify
You know
paid
what I'm
him?
saying? It doesn't that just nauseate.
He's got
to me.
land in Martha Vineyards, you know.
Acreage.
I know. It's
but
just like,
he landed all these cherry gigs after he got out.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
You
And he
know?
gets $500,000 speaking engagements every 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every 2 weeks.
Yeah, he
right?
speaks for 45 minutes and
I
bam,
don't begrudge
half,
him that.
half him.
You know, if you
Yeah,
can
I
get
don't
it,
either.
If you
I
can
don't
get
either.
it,
I
go
just-
for it.
wife's
I wouldn't pay it.
God.
It just goes back to that whole, if you're a politician, you know what I mean?
You're set for life.
You're set for life. You're set for life.
Yeah.
And it's nauseating. But anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, so big night.
Such the
big
politician
night.
stuff.
But we have some other things to talk about besides the election.
We could talk about our bourbon real quick, or actually our whiskey.
It is a whiskey. It's
Well,
a
not a
wheat. A
Well,
wheat.
can we? Oh,
Go.
Well, I
You
mean,
don't want to talk about the whiskey?
I do want to talk about the whiskey.
But you have other plans.
Not too much, but we did brush up on the old your elk trip. I mean, did you not see an elk? Did anyone see an elk?
No one saw anything.
How much hunting did you actually do? Because you got socked in, didn't you? With snow.
So no. So we got there we drove all day Thursday, and we ran into some problems. We found out that there was a group ahead of us, and it was 5 degrees at the top of the mountain, and you couldn't pass without snow chains
Oh, so you're on the road.
on the mountain
road
roads
to get there.
Yeah,
All right.
right. So now we're going through, like, this is our last chance to go pick up some snow chains somewhere, right? Otherwise, we're not going to make it to where we need 2 to camp.
Right.
And Jerry's got 2, but not 4. So here I am calling eight different places that could possibly have snow chains, and we managed to find one that had his size, right? It's a big tire that he has. Anyway, so we weren't going to make it in time. It was like we had like a 5-minute window to get to the O'Reilly's Auto Parts
Right.
in time, and we came up on a jackknife semi truck.
Oh, you
And-
rated
Huh?
you rated the snow tires from there, the snow chains.
No,
Oh.
no, we didn't
It's a
make it.
truck full of chains.
No,
I mean,
that,
you
that would have been
literally
cool.
took them off the truck tires.
Yeah, no,
No.
that didn't happen. Anyway, so we ended up having to stay the night in Gunnison, and we just parked the RV in the Walmart parking lot and slept in the parking lot. And when it opened the next morning, we got the chains and did some other stuff to get water and all sorts of other stuff. It's always one thing after another. We're filling up the RV
So-
with water, and
so
suddenly
that-
water
that
starts
night-
leaking.
Well,
and
hold
I'm
on.
just like,
So
it's always something.
Walk us through the night of the Walmart thing. So you're there. We're like, shit, it's closed. All right. Well, let's just set up the RV. We'll just spend the night here. So
Right.
what'd you guys do? Did you guys go to bed?
Do you snuggle or watch some TV?
There
Did you
was
drink
no
a little bourbon?
Some Hallmark
No, but-
movies?
Did you watch
Wow.
Netflix?
No, and no, and no, and no,
Porn?
and no. You say porn?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Did you guys
Definitely no on that one.
No.
you and Jerry red tube it all night long?
We didn't red tube it.
Ooh.
Did you brown tube it?
No grinders. No red tubing.
Jeez.
Brown tube?
I don't know what that means. I just thought I'd say
God.
it.
We
I
did
bet- I
learn.
bet it
We did
exists.
learn a new term in this whole trip: cornholing.
Oh, isn't that
That's
a game?
Yeah. Well, now it's not.
Oh,
Now cornholing is also maybe brown tubing. Is what I think you were saying.
Mm,
I've heard cornhole used in that manner.
Yeah. Yeah. So lots of jokes about cornhole.
so is that what you guys
Cornholing.
talked about? The
I
whole
was
night?
cornholed. Let's go cornholing.
Speaking of, the boys are playing competitive cornhole tonight.
Oh my God. Who is?
The house. What Steven said.
No way.
Interesting.
They're betting money.
Well,
You're
it's
with
free
each
entry.
other.
It's free entry. It's at a sports bar.
Okay.
So it's
that's
free
fun.
entry, and the winning team gets $500.
Very nice.
So
Wow. Okay. Well, that's good. Anyway, lots of jokes about that.
But-
But anyway, and then the next day.
No. Still, we have a long night. I mean, what time did you arrive at Walmart?
Oh.
Was it like 10, 9,
No. They closed
5 p.m.?
They closed at 7:30. We did not make. No. They closed at 8, and we didn't make it. And so I don't know. We were in the parking lot by like maybe 9 or something. And
I
we-
see you there.
and we went to
then
bed.
You went to bed fairly quick.
did you
Went to
make a
bed.
stew?
we
or
were
anything?
tired.
Oh, was
Like
We
a
stopped and
gumbo?
ate. We stopped and ate some Subway, I think.
No Subway.
Yeah.
so? Do they have like? He's got a really. I mean, because the older RV got stolen, so he's got a brand new RV.
Brand new RV.
Pretty nice.
Nice. Yeah. A lot roomier. It has a slide that wouldn't go out.
A slide?
Was that?
Like
yeah.
a play slide?
No.
No.
That's where the it extends out and it makes the RV bigger. It's
Did you
called
guys
a
fix that?
slide. We spent a lot of time on it. So finally, we got up to the mountain on Friday, and we didn't hunt on Saturday. No, we didn't hunt on Saturday. The first day of hunting, we didn't do it because we were trying to fix stuff on the RV. The slide wouldn't go
Oh.
out. There was leaking. We blah blah blah. It's always something.
This is brand new.
Brand new. Brand new. It's always something. It's
So
always
d-
something.
Is
Those
there-
RVs,
are
those
they
RVs and campers are just
have any
troublesome.
warranties on them?
Well, yes, they do. But when you're in the top of the mountain, and you need shit fixed at the moment. I mean, here I am looking up stuff on YouTube, trying to figure out how we get this to manually
So did
happen.
you figure out how to get the slide out?
We figured out that there's a manual place to do it underneath the RV. So we had to get out and do that. And that
Like
took,
a hand crank.
yeah, hand crank. That's exactly what it was. A hand crank. So, but what happens is if you pull it in too far, like if you retract it too far, it can bind. Which how would they even allow? Why would they allow that to happen? Right?
Cost cutting.
So ridiculous. So
Let's
anyway,
put a little thing there to stop it.
you would think have a little rubber
No,
stopper or
we
something.
could save 10 cents. And
Yeah, no. Anyway, so he retracted it too far during the summer, maybe the last time he used it, and it got bound up, and then you have to hand crank it to get past that point, and then the electric thing worked again.
so does it give you like another 3 feet or so? How far to go out?
Yeah, it's
Quite a
about that
bit.
much, yeah.
Quite a
Yeah.
bit, like maybe even more than that, maybe 3 or 4 feet. Yeah,
Nice.
I mean, it made a big difference inside the RV, and I was like, dude, don't worry about it, it's fine. Like one of us was able to sleep on the floor anyway, but it made a big difference. Anyway, so anyway, we got up to the mountain and we sorted out some of that stuff. Anyway, the first day of hunting, we got out there 5:30, 5 in the morning. Beautiful though. Like the sun hadn't come up, stars were freaking unbelievable.
Elk everywhere.
No elk anywhere. 13 degrees. We sat there for 3.5 hours.
Yeah, screw that.
and we were frozen. This is the first time that 4 of us, and one of them, like, finally they come over to me and they're like, "We're leaving."
Right.
And I was like, "Hey, you're not going to get an argument from me."
Yeah.
But it was kind of cool. We went back to the
Who
RV.
said that, Jerry?
All of them. I turned around, all 3 of them standing there going, "We're leaving."
My balls
So
are back
how many
inside.
days early was that?
How many days early? I mean, that was the second day of hunting. Is that what you mean? What do you mean?
I mean, you were supposed to be up there 10 days, right?
Oh, we hunted 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5 days. Not
Well,
very long.
So there's days that you just don't do anything to sit around and
there was one
masturbate.
that I don't remember doing any of that or cornholing. No, I mean
Brown
I
tubing.
think there was a day that we decided just, you know what, we're just gonna chill.
Well, what do you do? I mean, on the days you don't hunt, what do you do?
Well, hang out in the RV.
Watch
you
Netflix.
chill, right?
Chilled, totally chilled. We grilled. You know, I got the charcoal grill going, and
Watching Netflix.
we
and-
grilled some stuff. No, I mean we didn't. I mean we had one bar, so we thankfully got to watch the World Series. I mean it was really sketchy and spotty.
I missed the entire world. I could care less about the World Series.
I know you're not a.
Yeah.
Well, I mean you got to be an
Not a
Astros
fan.
fan.
Well,
I know
no, I mean,
No,
if
no, you
the
gotta be a
Cincinnati
baseball
Reds
fan.
or the Texas were in it, I'd probably watch. But
I get it. I mean,
even then, I've lost a whole. I don't know. I have no interest in baseball anymore.
I get it. I get it. If it hadn't been the Astros, there's no way I would have watched it. But I still am an Astros fan, and I know a lot of people.
Did the Astros win?
They're cheaters. They're cheaters.
They
wanted,
were cheaters,
oh, they were. I know.
but they probably still are.
To some degree.
They wanted.
Do you remember what they were cheating about?
Yes, of course. They were stealing the signs and giving it to the batter. Yes,
Yeah.
I know. I get it.
They had
Anyway,
cameras, didn't they?
they
Or are
wanted-
people out looking in
no,
the
I thought they were banging.
dugout.
They were banging. Yes, somebody was. I don't know if they had a video, but anyway, they were banging on the trash cans to tell them what the pitch was.
You would think that they could do a little more covert than that,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a little more involved in that.
like
as
a
well.
little walkie-talkie, like click, 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 click,
Yeah.
instead of the entire stadium hearing.
Maybe
you.
some strobes from the outfield, just like
Or someone like air traffic control,
Oh yeah.
there.
Somebody in center field with the lit up.
the batons.
Yeah, the lit up batons.
Yes.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Well, how about this? How about someone come with the hey fastball? This one's gonna be a
It's going
curveball.
to be a slider.
Well, so
Knuckle.
So if you guys didn't watch any of the game, any of
None.
the series,
0.
okay, there was a Houston pitcher that gave up 5 home runs in the
I
first
heard
4
about
innings. Okay, then they were saying he was tipping, and I was like, my first reaction was, holy shit, he was deliberately telling the batters what he was going to throw, and
I don't think it was deliberate.
it wasn't deliberate. So tipping is when you do something differently with your delivery that makes it clear to them what you're going to
And
throw.
they showed the difference.
And you never do that.
And they showed the difference, and it was drastic.
Yeah,
You could
you
tell.
can't do that.
It had to do with his kick.
So even Bryce Harper called the guy on deck, called him over, Bond, and whispered something in his ear. And they even asked him, "What'd you whisper?" He's like, "That's between Bond and I." Anyway, next pitch, home run. So they're basically saying if he brings his elbow down or kicks his leg out or knee, blah blah blah, he's going to throw.
It was his leg. It's his kick leg.
Yeah. He's
If it
gonna
was a
throw-
fastball, it was
He-
way out.
he gave up a record 5 home runs in 4 innings. Who does that? Anyway,
Well, he did.
Cheaters.
anyway, we persevered. We won in 6 games.
You live in Dallas.
Oh, would you stop with that? I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not a Cowboys fan. I'm not a Rangers fan. I'm not.
Exactly.
I am a
What's
Stars
wrong
fan.
with you?
I am a Stars fan because
He's a
Houston.
loser.
Houston does not have an NHL team. So when I lived in Houston, had they had one, I probably would still be a fan.
Well, you saw that the NHL says there's too many white people.
Oh, I know.
The NHL said that.
Yes, I sent
Yeah.
you that story
What
as
the-
well.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
read that one, but I was like, I'm like,
I was
what
surprised
the
by
fuck? I mean, they don't want black people don't want to play hockey.
Yep, we've had that.
You know,
It's not their.
that. Well, it's not
sport-
necessarily the players. It's
No,
the
it's not their sport of choice when they're a kid.
right.
It
That's-
isn't.
That's why you have a bunch of Canadians and Russians
Yes.
and Slovaks.
Yes,
and,
this is no conspiracy. It's whatever the kids want to play when they're little, and then they go into middle school, and then they go into high school, and if that's their sport of choice, then they stick with it. But they're you don't have a lot of black athletes that
So
choose
the NHL released
to play hockey.
a diversity report.
This is no conspiracy here.
And in response, both the league and the Associated Press have determined that white people should stop playing hockey or work in hockey.
Okay, but they're talking about the staff.
Yeah,
They're not talking
correct.
about the players.
The report found
Correct.
83.6 of the NHL staff and the staffs of leagues teams are
Okay.
white.
I go back to it that
Yeah.
you have to be interested in hockey
Yes.
to want to work in hockey. I would think.
Exactly. Most of them are former hockey players.
Right.
I actually, I'm going to go out on a limb.
62%
them.
are men.
Right.
Far more balanced than the league's
Okay.
roster, which are made up entirely of men. You know, come on. You know, it's kind of like
Okay, I'm sorry. What? Read that again. The report also found that 62% of staff are men, far more balanced than the league's rosters, which are made up entirely of men.
That makes no sense.
Men's hockey league. There's no women in the NHL. Why?
do they
What a
even-
profound statement! Whoever this freaking moron of a quote journalist is.
David Zalubowski.
What an idiot!
This is right off of like a Twitter feed, isn't it?
This is a joke. Made up entirely of men. You think? Oh my
Social
God.
justice
that
speak
just
for saying
triggered
that
me.
the league should stop hiring white people.
That totally just triggered me. But also, did you hear about the complaint that there were not enough or any U.S.-born black people in the World Series?
Huh?
Mm-hmm. Let that soak in. There were plenty of black people in the World Series on both sides, but they weren't U.S.-born.
So we're getting even more granular.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
because you get black people from Cuba, from Puerto Rico.
And apparently they're not. That they don't
those
matter.
aren't- Those aren't
Yeah.
black.
Well, those black lives don't matter, but it has to be U.S.-born black lives that seem to matter. It was the most offensive thing
who was
I've
saying
ever
that?
heard.
Who's saying that?
It was Stephen A.
Zabalewski?
Oh God, who was it? You'd have to look it up.
Oh,
but
Stephen, that Smith, that commentator.
that jackass. I think it might have been him. At the same time, another story came out where he said he's underpaid and he's the highest paid.
and he makes like $8 million
No,
a year
he's the highest paid one on the network.
on ESPN.
Yes, and he said he's underpaid. Yeah.
Well.
Cool, right?
If you could get it.
Anyway, retarded.
You know, speaking of the men, the whole thing about the men and hiring men, you know, there's that guy Jordan Peterson, and
Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson is
Jordan
a
Peterson.
speaker. I think he was a Canadian,
He was a Canadian professor, psychologist.
and he has opinions on, you know, the we, he, she, they.
Pronouns. That's where he got his start. Not his start, but that's where he kind of came to.
People started
prominence.
listening to him, and you know, he's got a history on a bunch of different things. I mean, as far as like his diet, he's like an all meat and potatoes, literally meat and potatoes.
I had a steak tonight.
Yeah,
Really?
steak, potatoes. That's it.
Did you have potatoes?
I had
He said he lost
beans.
like 60 pounds, something tremendous like that. He says it's a boring diet, but you know, I'm healthy,
I can handle that.
and
I can
yeah.
eat that every day.
so he comes out with you know, the 12 rules for life on what you would do. But there were some women that were debating with him. This one English lady, and she was just like, you know, talking about the men and the jobs they do, and how the women equality, and how women aren't making as much money as the guys are, and you know, how come women can't be into the politics. And it was just like, well, you know, how come women? I mean, we spoke a little bit about this, I think, in some of the past podcasts. But you know, there aren't bricklayers out there that are. How many bricklayers are women?
Right.
You know, how many women climb down in the sewers and fix it? You know,
it is not the occupation that is the choice of women.
Correct.
well, it's
Not their first choice.
He was basically saying, you know, men are necessary. You know, women are like, you know, we don't need men. We can do everything ourselves. No, you can't.
Well, I mean,
No, they can't.
Take a shot at it.
Yeah,
I mean,
but they can't.
right.
They can't. If you have a gaggle of women and you put them on an island and you have a group of guys, the guys are gonna have a enriched community of stuff, and the women
But I also think the
Well-
guys will ultimately fail as well.
They will. No, I
You need
agree.
to have both.
through leadership. Yeah, it's
You
yin and yang.
you
I
have
get
to
it.
have both.
You have to have both.
I
Yes,
get it,
I
but
agree
what
with
he's
that.
saying is that it's necessary to have men because and it's hard to be a man. There's who's going to do that type of job. Who's
Right.
who's going to wake up every single morning and go down to jump on the garbage truck and throw the garbage into the garbage truck and drive down the street, go to the next house. Yeah,
Well,
are those the guys that are trying to oppress their woman?
I mean,
Is that
well-
why they're working that job? Is to oppress their women?
Well,
Right.
just go back to the very beginning, right? I mean, the men were the warriors of the tribe,
The hunters.
the hunters, right? And the women were some were hunter gatherers, right? But the women, for the most part, were the gatherers, right? And then when they brought the ship back, the women would prepare it and the men would rest. I mean, you know what I mean? It's everybody. And it's not a they suck or they're weak or they are not
So
as
everyone
important.
has their role.
Everybody's got a role to make the
Yeah,
whole
Well,
thing successful.
look at the American Indian and how their tribes were set up.
Yeah,
It wasn't-
exactly.
You had your hunters who went out
Yeah.
and they would come back. The ladies would take it, they'd skin it, gut it, cook it, they'd grow the crops, they'd take care of the
Yep.
I don't know if you want to call it the city or whatever they're in, right? They're
Yeah.
wherever they're
The
living.
tent, all the
Teepees, right? So
Teepees,
they
right?
take care of their community, whereas the guys would protect the community and go hunting.
And I can promise you, remember, like you said, they have a tent city, a teepee city, and that shit, tearing it down, putting it together, putting it all on the horses and the wagons or whatever, and moving
Right,
on. And
right.
do you know how much work the women did on that shit? I mean, come on,
I know.
mind-boggling how much work they did.
But-
You know what? That makes me think of another thing. I read an interesting story today. You know what a stone weir is? Weir. Weir. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Weir. So it is. So there was a story today. Yeah, he's got it pulled up. So they found a stone weir which was 11,000 years old. And what this is back then even they were smart enough to know how to trap fish. Okay, so the high tide would come in, right? The high tide would come in. The fish would swim inland, and they would build a structure to trap them when the water went out. Okay, called a stone weir. Anyway, they figured out this thing was 11,000 years old.
How did they date such? I mean, because the world didn't exist 11,000 years. I thought because isn't that when Jesus had said that?
Yeah,
you know,
yes. Okay.
Well,
Well.
let's open that can of worms.
Yeah. Seriously though, I mean, so imagine that 11,000 years ago, these guys were smart enough to figure out how to trap fish by building this stone weir. And do you think the women could have carried all those rocks and would they have gone out there and built this thing so that they could catch fish, so they could live?
We should ask them.
I'm gonna ask him. Let me call Shelly. Shelly, how big a rock can you carry? What? I'm not carrying any rocks.
Yeah,
Okay, never mind. Thank you.
I'll cook the fish.
She's like, I won't eat fish.
Yeah, you have to gut it.
Anyway, I thought that was the coolest story. About 11,000 years ago, they were smart enough to catch these fish building this stone structure that
What do you think it was like living 11,000 years ago?
cold.
I mean, who was around? Is that like the Sumerians and all that
Before
time?
that.
Is that how long
Way
ago?
before
Was,
that.
how long
Hold
ago
on.
were the
I
Sumerians?
mean, shit, the
and all that?
Egyptians were 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago.
Well, there were people before that as well.
Yeah, oh, of course. But, I mean, we're talking way back.
So where was this at?
Alaska.
Oh,
Yeah, go
like
figure.
Eskimos.
Well, and that's where there used to be a land bridge, right? And
Yes.
have you ever read the stories about the migration patterns, like how they got from here to here to here, and it was because there was a land bridge between Russia and Alaska.
Yeah, well,
And
it's
so they
Pan-
were
it's
able to-
Pangea.
Well, and they followed the animals just like the Indians followed the buffalo.
Yeah.
Right.
They followed the mastodons or the woolly mammoths.
Well, that's why I was also bringing up, but where one of the other podcasts where they had the Catholic dudes that were
Conquest.
the conquest.
The Knights Templar.
Yeah, the Knights Templar.
No.
They found stuff. Yes,
The Crusades.
Yeah,
Sorry,
the
the
Crusades.
Oh,
Crusades.
the Templar
they
were
found
the Crusades.
stuff like in Indiana on stones, symbolic of the Crusades and the Templar.
Oh, wow.
How is that possible?
Did someone bring them over, or
Yes.
did the Templars come over?
Well, that's my point. Did they? Or was there a mass? How long has this organization been going on? And
Well, the
I-
theory is it's still active in like a kind of a hidden society type thing.
So somebody in Indiana had a stone that referenced
oh
Knights
yeah,
Templar.
yeah. It was in a field.
I'm going with Amazon Prime.
Yeah, it was in a field.
Could be the drone.
And
Drone couldn't
it
carry it anymore.
was-
Just dropped it.
No,
Yeah.
it was a huge rock. And
Oh,
it
huge rock.
Yeah, it was spherical, and they had moved it, and there was all this writing on the underside of it.
It's like an LTL shipment.
So could someone have done the writing and then turned it back over, like recently?
They aged it. Who knows? I guess it's possible. But I mean, first of all, who would know the language good enough to do it? They had to bring in people. They had to bring people in that knew the language, and it was
There's
just like
people
an
out
old.
there.
It was an old Hebrew.
Well, that's like when they found they had a huge breakthrough in being able to do the Egyptian hieroglyphics because it was translated from the Greek because they found that stone, the Rosetta Stone.
Yeah.
Right.
Remember that? Did you guys ever read? Did you pay attention in history in high school? Come on,
Yeah,
guys.
that
Yeah.
Rosetta Stone was
The
in fact,
Rosetta
they
Stone
have-
was huge. It broke open how they could read hieroglyphics.
Yeah.
I watched Indiana Jones.
I love history. I wish.
Oh, so now you love history.
I
I bring
wish-
it up and you fuck with me.
Well, no, you have conspiracy theory shit. That's not history. That's
I mean, the
that's just-
Sumerians are filled with conspiracies.
They were
and the stuff that they're
they were
doing, the tree of life, and all
they were
kinds of
so-
energies and crystals.
they were so smart. The Sumerians. They were
They
super
all
smart.
died off.
They all died off.
Well, the word is that they didn't die off. The word is that they took off.
They took off.
And they came back and built the pyramids of Egypt.
Was it the same as those people in California that wear the funky sneakers and they all
Heaven's Gate.
Here's
waiting
what-
for the mothership to come?
Here's what I envision.
Really?
All right? So
We
let's just
we
say
have got to get him off of
No,
these Discovery
no,
Channel
no,
shit.
Listen, here's what I'm thinking.
Really?
Here's
No,
what I
it's-
envision.
It's that Wong
I think
Fat
that
guy
these
you-
guys are smart, and they're using their influence. They found out what gunpowder is. They found out how to make these little rocket engines, but they didn't understand the outer atmosphere. So I can just imagine all these dudes piling up in this tall, hollowed out tree with these fins, and it's all badass.
And they harness their
They,
methane.
they get up into the air, and then they all die. They suffocate because they're out fucking 3 miles in the atmosphere.
Yeah, I can't see that.
And then they fall back down to earth, frozen.
and they die. Yeah, it's sad.
in a tree,
In a tree.
where the tree just catches fire halfway up.
Meanwhile, all we were doing was hollowing out trees and floating around on them.
Well, the Sumerians
Making
lasted
a
from
canoe.
4100 BC
Yes.
to 1750 BC. So that
What did you say?
is an extended
What did
period.
you say? They took. Like he said, they take off. And what did you say? They died out. They died out. Would you?
I didn't say anything.
I
think you're
can't remember
hearing
exactly
things.
what the quote was. That was kind of funny. They didn't do this. They took off.
Yeah. with
Anyway.
with white gym sneakers on.
Right.
All right. Anyway, that's our history lesson segment.
Well, let's go to our bourbon.
Yeah.
Oh
not-
yeah,
it's not a
perfect time for the bourbon segment.
Not a bourbon.
It's a weeded one.
So we need to insert bourbon music right here.
This is an American whiskey. It's 51% red
Oh,
wheat.
spirits of French lick. What is a French lick?
That's just French Lick is an area of Indiana.
Oh, I was thinking something a lot more
I've been
sassy,
Ah,
saucy, and
I
sassy.
like
and
this.
There's also a
I'll
lake,
take a French lick.
lake up there I've been to called French Lick.
51% red wheat, 24% oats, 25% Indiana peat smoked malt. The proof,
Interesting.
oh, dude, gentlemen, the proof is 127.3.
I
Actually, this is
Don't
higher.
think that's accurate.
I thought
Well, this is a single barrel. Everyone's gonna be a little bit different.
Well, this one, first of all, is 6 years old.
Yeah. Though this
Oh,
is a
that
single.
one's 4 years old,
Well, we have a single barrel, I
which
believe.
is higher proof than that. It's 128, is what I remember
Whatever.
on the bottle. Do you have the bottle there, Mr. Producer? What's the proof? Upper right-hand corner. 128, 125, 125.
Oh, it's wheat.
That will put some hair on your chest. All right.
Ooh. Well,
Yeah, it's good. It's good. All right, what else we got? So it's definitely not a bourbon. What else did you put on there? 4 years? No, this is our 6, right? Age 6 years? What do you think? I'm going to give it an 8.
I don't know.
I'll give it a 6.5 to a 7.
No.
I'll give it a 7.
And we're throwing out the low scores, so we'll go with 8.
We throw out the low and the high, so we're with 7.
No.
So it's a
No,
7.
just the lows. The lowest scores.
No,
Well, you sound like a democratic voting machine. What the hell?
I know they say
Well, if
that's
that were
got
the case, I would tell you tomorrow what the count is.
Yeah, no, that'll be next month.
Yeah, next month.
The smoked peat, you could taste it, but it's not overpowering.
Oh, look at this. The GOP just jumped up. Dems 38, GOP 37.
Where?
It's for the House.
Overall?
Well, currently.
They're saying that the Republicans are going to destroy the House. Like they're saying there's no way that the Republicans lose the House. The Senate is a toss-up, but the House is like a no-brainer.
All right, bounce back.
No, what I was saying is the smoked peat, you get a lot of that with the scotches and stuff. You can taste it, but it's not overpowering.
No.
And it's not real smoky or anything like that.
Sometimes the scotches, the smoked peat is a little too much for me with the scotches.
Right.
Yeah, I don't mind it with the a little lime and club soda on the scotch.
But I was reading the bottle, and it's I like these guys. They have a nice
nice design on the front, kind of like an Indiana Jones map.
That too, but if you they have a sense of humor. Like they're reading the back, and they're like, we're more about
French
luck
lick.
and mystique and this and that, and we're not so much about the what's the word I'm looking for? Like the
butthole. I'm just throwing words out there.
No. I think you nailed it. Not about the butthole is what they're really focused on. Thanks for bailing me out on that one.
All right, well, I was kind of in shock. He said butthole.
Yeah, it's French lick. The butthole.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
anyway,
I did something. I did something that I haven't done in quite some time. And I got to share. I do share. I got to share. Dudes Like Us knows that this dude, his wife, doesn't travel because she's got agoraphobia. Some dudes like us may have experience with that. Agoraphobia, you can look it up. There are mild cases, there are extreme cases. My case is that can't travel very far.
Right.
My wife can't without falling into a full-fledged panic attack. She was able to. Typically, 30 minutes is kind of the max she can go.
Wow.
45 minutes, we're going to have some stress. We're going to have to get off the highway, take some side roads. I mean, there's just
decompress, like reset.
There's going to be some you got to step off for a while. She made it all the way from Dallas to southeast of Dallas, about almost 2 hours out.
Yeah, Athens, Texas, right?
Out there by Canton, right?
Yeah,
very nice.
Yep, further.
That's a
south.
big win.
She did fine, huh?
Driving out there, she did fine.
No meds, no nothing. Just kind of.
As far as I know, I mean, she didn't take any.
Just Barry Manilow blaring on the radio.
Elton John.
No, not
Did
really.
you guys sing on the way out there?
No, we actually played our podcast for part of it. That kind of helped.
Well, then that explains it.
She was laughing.
No, she fell asleep.
No,
could be.
No, it was whatever. So we made it south, and the reason why we were going out there was to go to a wedding, which is another thing I want to talk about. The weddings nowadays, and some of these, I don't want to say whether it was. The venue was nice. It's country. It's out in the middle of nowhere.
That's nice.
I mean, it's really country style.
Yeah,
lots of trucks,
and it's not as stuffy and
pretentious.
Pretentious, is that the right word?
Perfect.
Pretentious, yes.
Well, it was like 68 degrees out there.
Oh, was it an outdoor wedding?
It was an outdoor ceremony.
That's nice.
68 degrees out there. It was
perfect. Was it in a
absolutely
field
perfect.
or a lake or
it
anything
was,
like that?
They had a body of water there.
Like a pond?
Yeah.
Were there any skeeters?
No, there weren't any skeeters.
Piranha.
Piranha, just
a couple
leaping
alligators hanging out. No, if there were anything like that, these guys would have shot it, skinned it, and ate it in front of everybody.
Backwoods dudes.
Well, they live out in the country, so they do country things. They got to take care of stuff.
So it totally worked out. They had a nice sunset.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I'll tell you what. The great thing about it is that we had fun, and we haven't been able to do anything like that together.
I saw the picture.
Without
you guys were stressed
without any outside influence.
That Friday, you were highly stressed.
Oh, dude, it was
You were not in a good mood.
Well, yeah, because you didn't know how the drive was going to go.
Oh, it. Look, man, anticipation of death is worse than death itself. You know, and I was expecting the worst.
Yeah, well, that's
You know.
great. It worked out.
Yeah.
And you guys had fun.
That's my point.
You
is
sent a
that
great
we-
picture.
we
You were wearing some goofy
reconnected,
cowboy hat.
And it's not that we reconnected so much. It was just that, you know, when we go and do things, I mean, it's kind of like, you know, well, we hang out for a little bit, and all of a sudden the guys would gravitate to one side, and the chicks disappear. You know, I don't
Right.
Kind of like high school.
Yeah. So
Boys
like,
on one side, girls on the other.
Right.
So what we stuck together. We were standing by each other the whole time. We drank and we had fun. It was something that
Wow.
we haven't done in a while. And we
Any
stayed in a
dancing?
hotel room.
Nice.
Ooh.
Oh, it was.
Whoa.
We had plenty
Hold
of
on.
hotel time.
Keep going.
No, it was more like.
No, I'm fast forwarding you.
Oh, that's what that noise was.
Jeez.
I didn't
Your-
know what that was.
Your son is in the room.
Go ahead.
That's like she wearing a mermaid outfit. Was it-
Right.
I was fast forwarding.
Well, you called
idiot.
me. I don't know if you remember. You called me
no, I called you 'cause
asking
I,
about bourbon. Were you talking bourbon with the guys out
specifically-
there?
Of course I was. You know, I brought a bottle of that Larceny 123.8 proof out there, that single batch or the barrel, whatever it was,
Barrel proof.
and it was, you know, it was a hit. There was a couple people out there that. He was like, "Your name's Sean?" I was like, "Yeah, I remember you. You came over to my house and hooked up some cable." And that was Roman. I remember this guy Roman. I was just
He laid some cable.
no, hooked up some cable.
Ooh, You're laying pipe.
No,
Yeah,
no.
a little bit of-
I knew you were going to say that.
Little bit of cornholing going on here.
Oh, all right.
Great. Anyway,
Anyways.
I'm happy for you guys.
Yeah,
That's,
so it was a good experience, and for those guys that have spouses, or even for the guys that have agoraphobia, you know, I would challenge you just to take baby steps. Just do it. You got to do it. That's really the biggest thing. You just got to do it. You're never going to be able to get over it if you don't do it.
Is she more open to go visit Preston now?
Well,
I know the ladies want to go down and visit.
we gotta schedule it, and we gotta do it. So that's basically it.
so it was 2 hours to Athens, you said.
It's 3 hours down to see the boys.
Hour and 46
I
minutes.
know. That's where I was going. That's where I was going.
Well, I told her, I was like, look, I mean, we're like an hour in, something like that. I was like, can you imagine? It's just another hour and a half, and we would be where Preston's at.
Yep. You would see your baby boy.
Yeah. So I mean, it's promising. It was promising because
Good.
you got to imagine my whole marriage. I'm living in this prison where it's difficult to travel places.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
You know, and I don't-
you love to travel.
Oh man, I love it, and and she's got the attitude. But if you don't like it, you can fucking leave anytime you want. I'm like, oh, that's not the point.
No, that doesn't
You
end well
know?
because at some point you come back.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and
Your
look,
shit's in the front yard.
yeah, in a bonfire.
Here's your shit. Well, you said I could go.
I didn't think you would. That is crazy, but it was a cool wedding. Something weird though that these kids got married at age 19.
Ooh, wow, that
That's
doesn't happen very
really
often.
young. You
So
know,
how
It
did you
is.
know them? These are
my wife's one of her best friends growing up. It was her daughter.
Was the bride hot? Was she wearing any any
The bride was beautiful.
Any slinky
19 years
clothing?
old and beautiful blue eyes.
wearing boots.
She was wearing a very nice, well-fitted dress and fit well.
19.
19 years old.
Seriously, you do not see that very often.
That's
And
kind of
ma-
like
well, hold on.
Austin getting
You know
married.
what? I shouldn't say that.
I-
Maybe in the country that is a normal
I
thing.
saw it a lot where I grew up.
Why not? I mean, if they're not planning on, okay. So here's the thing: a lot of the kids that age now are planning on going to college, and they're not going to get married because right now college is the focus. And then as soon as they get out of college, yeah, maybe they start to they get engaged while they're in college, right? And then they get married. But I mean, if college is not in the cards for some of these,
Let's get married and get started right now.
why not? I mean, why not? Seriously.
Right.
Well, the boy had.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, like I said, where I grew up, a small town, a lot of folks got married young.
I mean, so do you think you have a better chance at a longevity, like a long, healthy marriage, if you got married later or earlier, or does it make no difference?
I don't think it makes a difference because you see these old people are like, we just celebrated our 80th wedding
Right,
anniversary.
and they're like, we were high school sweethearts.
Yeah. And at the other time, you're like, we were high school sweethearts. We made it 10 years, and we were like, yeah, we're done.
Right.
So it's up to the people.
So either way.
It's up to the couple, I think.
What about you? What about you, Sean? You think it makes a difference if you get married at 19 versus married at 26? Do you have a better chance at making it? To the end.
Here's
what do you think?
It's what I think marriage is. So it's interesting. I think that the more partners you have in life, regardless of age,
like at the same time.
No. So let's say you're a woman.
Like a harem?
Yeah.
I'd say that if a woman dates 10 guys,
concubine,
she's not going to have a healthy. I think the more women date, the less healthier their marriage is going to be. And there are statistics that support that. So
the more women date, the more men that they date,
sleep with.
Okay, well that's actually an important distinction because you're supposed to. The biblical thing is that you date until you figure out what different people are like, but you don't sleep with everybody.
You're always comparing, because otherwise you're a hoe. I mean, no, look, seriously. You date a woman and you're like, hey, you find out she went out with 10 guys. All right, well, she been with 10 dicks. I mean, it's just like that's hoe territory.
Right.
I don't care how you want to address it. Is it uncouth for me to say that or couth?
I know what you mean.
But here's the deal.
And it's no different with a guy either, too.
No, it's very different for a guy.
Oh, is it?
It is, and I didn't make up this rule. It's just that's the way it is. It's the genetics, But you asked me the question,
all right,
and my answer is the marriages last longer for those statistically from those whose women have dated less men.
Slept with less men.
Correct. I'm not talking you got like Don Juan over there. Hey, how you doing? How many men you been with? One? Score. We're going to last forever. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, you talk about these small town kids getting together. Yeah, they're going to be together for a long time because they truly do love each other. There's no distractions in life. There's no comparisons.
No comparisons.
Yeah, the grass is greener on the other side.
Well, it's that because the pool is not as large. If you're out in the country, the pool you have. All right, I went to school like where I went to school. I had 100 people in my class, 50 of them girls. Right,
but
so I had 50 girls.
The same. Statistically, you could be in the middle of the city with the same statistics. Is what I'm talking about.
What I'm talking about is, I didn't have as many options that say maybe you guys had.
Right.
Because my pool of girls was much smaller.
Right.
And now the two that just got married may have been even smaller.
Right.
Right. So they found each other, and she found him, and whatever, and he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Now, if they move to Dallas, and she's all of a sudden like, oh my God, look at all these guys.
Right.
Right. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, I mean, I had thousands of options. I mean, maybe tens of thousands of options.
We're not talking about handicapped pets.
Oh,
yeah, we're talking about like
still talking about women.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I didn't really. Anyway, yeah, I was not really a player.
Yeah.
Were you a player? I was not a player.
I wouldn't. No, I didn't turn into that.
But I thought you were Sean Cruz.
I wasn't a player though. They put me on that pedestal. I didn't ask for that pedestal.
It just comes naturally.
No, it was a business decision that company made because I was the only white boy in the place.
And you reaped the rewards.
I did. I was good looking back then. I wasn't. I was on the swim team for a long while, so I wasn't fat like I am now, and I wasn't hard on the eyes for some of these women that came up.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't like, like now. Where people are like, what happened to him? Did he get a car wreck? Did he crash into a Krispy Kreme donut place?
Just eat it all?
Speaking of that, Brandon Fraser? The guy from Blast from the Past?
Brendan Fraser, yes.
Brendan Fraser.
Well,
they're giving him such a hard time.
He morphed into something because he was Tarzan, all ripped.
Yeah, so apparently he's back. Yeah, so he's back into acting, and he's a bigger dude now, right?
Well, he's wearing a fat suit there.
Well, but yeah, they're saying.
All right, but here's the thing, Brent. There was something that he had done because they were like, "Where did Brendan Fraser go?" And
right,
what
he
was
vanished.
the day? When was the day that he died in the Hollywood?
Right. When
Realm.
did he stop becoming
And
an A-lister?
There is
what did happen?
There's an interesting story behind that. And he was sitting at one of the awards ceremony, and the camera hit him just right where he looked awful, and he laughed extremely goofy. And
they're saying that was the moment where
that was the moment that everything turned around. No one hired him anymore, and
so
he was
let
just
himself
recently. I don't know. I mean, he just recently received an award, and
For what?
I don't know what it was, but it was just within the last 2 or 3 months. It was an award for accomplishments, and because he really does have a lot of accomplishments, and there was no real reason why they took him off the list, except he was getting a little bit chubbier and thinner.
His hair was thinning.
But he played a lot of really great characters.
Well, so my understanding is he's back in a TV show, and he's a heavier set dude now. But I mean, he's
Well, yeah. Look, I mean, he's heavier set, but he's also wearing a fat suit.
Yeah,
well, I
no,
don't-
but
I-
he is heavier. Right
he's
now.
heavier. I don't.
But
think,
he's not that.
Well, but I don't know what that is.
Well,
right?
actually, that
So-
is that. See right there. That's real.
Well, yeah, but no, I'm talking down here in the middle where you see him smiling, and the next one over,
right.
that one. He's got something else going on there.
Are you sure?
Yeah, look at his neck.
I don't know.
Yeah, the unrecognizable 600-pound man in The Whale. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was a fat suit.
Yeah, so that was a fat suit.
But he morphed into that. So, anyways, I don't know what the true reason was. If there was some sort of underlining thing, but he is He
He's
is re-
huge. I mean, the Mummy.
he is Republican.
Yes.
He is.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's why they
That could be it.
delisted him
I mean, it very well could be.
for sure.
I'm waiting for them to do that to Chris Pratt, but I think Chris
Oh.
Pratt is too big
Is he-
right now.
Is he untouchable? I know.
He may be. I mean, he may be
Oh.
too big right now.
I know.
loved
I
it.
agree with that.
I loved it when Chris Pratt got onto one of these shows and he was talking about God and soldiers,
He is an
And-
outspoken
and he was
Christian.
just like in like the men that died for this country, Jesus died for you on the cross, and gave their blood. Like Jesus gave his blood, so did the men from this country,
Right.
to support it.
The
you know,
ultimate
and-
sacrifice. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that whole little speech, 20 seconds long.
Awesome.
And you know what? It's for a bunch of kids. And they gobbled it up, and
Love
what?
it.
Good for him. And the people that were there, they all applauded you. How could you not applaud it?
I know. Well, because they're evil haters out
Well,
there.
you
Out
know,
there.
Those are the
Yeah.
folk. Those are the evil folk. But I am super excited about Elon Musk and thinning out, even if it's just a little slice of that big tech. I think it's so fantastic.
I think he's put big tech on alert.
Well, he's putting the media and the libs on alert,
I know.
and it's hysterical. I've been reading the news on how they are just
Freaking
flipping
out.
over him taking over,
Yep.
and this whole blue check thing. I could give a shit about the whole. I don't even look at that.
I wasn't even sure exactly what it means
It means you've been verified.
that you
That-
are who you are.
That you're supposed to be. Yeah, you're verified and trustworthy. That what you say, right? So
Oh, I didn't know the trustworthy part.
yeah, so you're not a bot, and whatever.
No, hold
I
on.
say-
What does that mean? So, okay, I get it. So let's just say I'm Brandon Fraser. All right. So I want to get on Twitter. I want Twitter and anybody who follows me to know that I am really truly Brandon Fraser.
Well, there's a
Is
mechanism
it Brendan
before
or Brandon? Brendan. Okay. So here we go. So I get a blue check. I am, but it doesn't mean what I say is truth.
Well, not in that case,
With
but
a certified check, the recipient
news
knows
people.
that the bank has verified the check. No, that's not what that means.
That's totally different.
but it's for like it's for like
I was
reporters.
speaking like I had the authority. I was
Yeah,
like,
there was
in
a-
the
there was a-
banking industry.
There was a reporter out there who's been complaining that's saying $8 for a blue check mark now. Now
Yeah.
anybody can get it,
it's not
and
better.
no one's going to how are they going to
It waters down the authenticity.
But what
how are they going to know that they can believe me over that Joe Schmo in the blue check?
So,
And
but
Elon was like,
what the blue
because
check
no one
says
trusts you now,
is that
basically.
Twitter has
Right.
verified the identity
Nice.
of the person behind that account and that they are who they say they are.
Correct.
And that's the only thing the blue check
Right.
means.
So the
And-
media,
Okay,
so the
okay.
media is kind of fighting that, going,
But
how can people trust it now that anybody can be like, we could get blue checks now?
Well-
But I can respect the importance of that because I mean, how many fake Britney Spears The
Yeah.
Twitter accounts are
Yes.
there.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Exactly.
Correct.
Exactly.
Well, that's why it's there.
Well,
You
so
know,
now
not that
AO
I'm looking up
and now
Britney
Elon
Spears'
Musk wants to
accounts.
charge $8. Is it a month or a year?
It's a month.
That's a little steep, I think.
It's a month.
I-
$8 a month.
Okay,
To
first
have the
off,
blue
They're
check.
still going to verify.
Are they hemorrhaging money? I mean, don't they need to
Yeah,
make
he's
money?
losing money.
Yeah, so he's trying to make money.
Correct. So they're
So
still
$8 a month.
That's a lot.
AOC, I think it is for Twitter. I'm not going to pay $8 a month to have a blue
no.
check next to my name. But someone like AOC was on there and she was bitching and complaining.
Complaining. Big
And
time.
Elon Musk puts out a little tweet going, "Hey, why don't you go ahead and throw your $8 in and let's get this program, let's
Thank
get
you
this
for the
conversation going."
Yeah, thank you for the idea. Pay $8.
Yeah. Now pay $8 if you want the blue check.
Well, I think a lot
You
of
were
them.
totally blown around.
I think a lot of them are butthurt because it's a status thing with them.
Totally.
Now we could get blue checks.
Yep.
Oh, well, now I'm just like anyone else.
Yeah, completely.
Okay. Oh, well, hold on. We haven't talked about that part of it. So you're saying to even be able to be eligible to get a blue check, you have to be important?
I think you still have to pay money to get
Well,
this done.
right
don't you?
now there's 3 criteria. The criteria up there says they have to verify who you are.
Okay.
And well, that's the reason why you get it, because you have to verify who you are. You're the person behind what you are saying, so that that is you. You're saying it. We verified that was you.
All right. So
Now-
okay. So here's the point. If you are important enough to want to tell your followers that you are who you say you are,
Scroll down on
then
the
you
Twitter
go
verification.
and then you go and get a
requirements.
blue check.
Yeah,
That's
click
what
on
it
that.
boils down to here, guys. That is like if when I'm on Twitter, nobody gives a shit if I'm real or not.
Notable. What does that mean?
Here we go.
Your account must represent or otherwise be associated with a prominently recognized individual
There
or
you go.
brand, comma.
You
in
have to be
line with
important.
notability criteria described.
You have
below.
to.
There was a. I think
Wow.
I don't know if it's a follower amount or
So they have to decide that you're important enough to get a blue check.
correct. It just
Am
wasn't.
I important enough to get a blue check?
Dudes like us right now is not important enough.
Oh.
Although Sean's working it, he may get us up there.
I'm going to continue to rattle the cage.
To get us in there.
Look, I've got some responses back already. Hey, we got a response back on Instagram.
For what?
I don't remember. Someone wanted us to get a bottle or something. They responded to the Calamum 15 or 16 that we have.
Oh, we should have taken pictures. We always need to take a picture.
Yeah, well, yeah, we need to do it because it's dark out now, so we need to figure out a setting to take our pictures.
We should do it during the day.
Well, we
Yeah.
just need a setting in here. We need a nice backdrop, and we take a picture
Every
of
time.
every week. We need a little Dudes Like Us plaque. Take a picture of the same setup every single week. The drink.
I don't know. I kind of like your artsy, trees and cool
No.
little fence. And
Well, those are nice too, right?
those
So-
are super cool.
They
Dude,
are nice.
your Christmas one that they responded to was freaking awesome.
That was Calumet as well.
Yes, it was, and it was amazing. That
But
picture. Even Shelley was like,
if-
"Wow, that's
if we
amazing."
were to do it every week, we'd be getting some more hits on this every
Yeah.
single week. Just take the bottle, take a picture of it. That's why let's just do the same setup. Put something on the back here. You made me a Dudes Like Us little plaque. Maybe I need to bring that over here.
I did.
I like to just kind of maybe take the bottle somewhere during the day and
Well, that's just
anyway, doesn't
look,
matter. Doesn't matter.
We don't have time to do anything.
I know we don't.
That's why I'm saying let's make it easier so we don't have to do less. Let's set the backdrop up and then we just do it.
Totally.
If we
noted.
have time, yeah, sure, go outside and knock it out.
Yeah, I get that. I totally.
Yeah,
get
we need something. We have a CNC down there, so we can make something.
Yeah.
Backdrop.
Oh,
Amazing.
We could do.
that. Oh, what?
I know.
What are you talking about?
We may have to re-oil it. It's been
Oh,
so
no.
long since it's been
We're
on.
gonna re-oil it.
We've never oiled it.
We got to change the wheels.
There is maintenance we have to do on that thing. But anyway, I agree. That what does that plaque look like that I made you? How
It's
big is
about 4 inches tall by 24,
Oh yeah, I
about
remember.
an inch thick.
The dudes like us.
it? Oh, I got one of those downstairs on the cedar plank. It
Nice.
says "Dudes Like Us."
Wow.
We could use that. So I have something. Here's about this
Yeah,
long, about
yeah.
that big.
Anyway, I think it's really cool when distilleries respond.
Yeah, it is cool.
It's such a
We've
cool.
we've had them respond on several.
I know, like two, at least 3.
Yeah, well, more than that, I think.
That's fantastic, man. I love it. Anyway.
Election night. And
Oh yeah,
let's see where
what's the
we're at.
latest?
All right, well, let me hit refresh on this.
Dems win 100%.
We're still at the same 38 to
100%
37
zero.
seats. So, I mean, what do you guys want hear? You want to hear about the Senate or
Yeah,
the,
just broad, like not state by
or
state.
the
How's
Congress?
How's Herschel doing?
Herschel.
Is he still down 20 points?
This is no way. There's no way.
That's Georgia.
I know, but
Actually, it's tie. When I
it's
say it's
tied now?
tie, it's 49.1 to 49.1.
thank you.
Yeah, I was going to say
Because he's a likable guy. He's articulate. He's smart. He's black. I mean,
he's an athlete.
48%.
Seriously, he's an very accomplished guy.
He was a Dallas Cowboy.
Well, but he was also. Well, where did he start?
He went to
New Jersey Generals.
Yeah, he was at the
USFL. USFL.
He was at USFL. Went to the Cowboys.
He was a massive deal.
He was the reason the Cowboys got good. There was that tremendous trade they made. Was it with Minnesota?
It was a ridiculous trade.
It was a ridiculous trade. I think it was either Minnesota. I think it was Minnesota, and that's how the Cowboys got good.
But what was the success? Did he win a Super Bowl? Did Herschel Walker win a Super Bowl?
The Cowboys did because they traded his ass. And they got Emmett and Troy and Michael Irvin.
Oh,
all those draft
I
picks.
see. Sorry, they had him and traded him,
And they got a shit ton of like high draft picks. That next year
It wasn't Minnesota. That doesn't sound right to me.
Was it Chicago?
I don't remember Herschel Walker in a Vikings uniform. Look that up for us, Mr. Producer.
Whatever team that he went to.
Yeah, Herschel Walker. What team was he with?
Was it New Orleans?
No. I'm going to go with
Houston.
It's not Houston. I know it wasn't Houston. That would have been the Oilers.
I don't know who he played for.
He's got it pulled up. All right, let's take a look. Herschel Walker, Wikipedia. Yeah, that's fine. No, Wikipedia. All right, what do we got? So
NFL career.
Yeah, NFL. Scroll down. NFL
Minnesota.
statistics.
See, I
NFL
told you.
statistics 4.2.
It was Minnesota.
Oh, you were right.
I know.
And then he went. Oh, really? And then he went to the
Eagles and then the
Eagles.
Giants.
Eagles and then the Giants.
Then
So
he rejoined the Cowboys.
he
as
never
a kickoff
he
return
never won a Super
specialist.
Bowl, did he?
I don't believe so.
Yeah.
That's right. He did come back right before he wanted to retire as a Cowboy. So I think
Oh.
he walked on for like a nickel.
Well, that's good.
Well, he played for a year. In 1996, he rejoined the Cowboys and then retired at the end of 97.
So he played 2 years. Well, I don't
2
know when he
seasons. Yeah.
rejoined. Yeah, mid-season or whatever.
Right.
Very respectable guy. He's the guy that would do 2,000 push-ups and like
He didn't
2,000
He didn't
sit-ups.
lift weights.
He did not lift weights,
He did not lift weights.
and he was ripped.
I remember he was on Oprah.
I think he could have taken Arnie,
No.
man on man.
No.
Come on, I'm here, kill me.
Interesting. So he didn't lift weights at all.
No.
No, push-ups and sit-ups.
Push-ups and sit-ups. He did like 2,000 a day.
He did. And he was into yoga. I think it was
so.
yoga. He was
Ballet.
Very,
He also did the
was-
ballet thing.
Yeah, ballet. That was the other thing. Ballet.
Ballet.
Ballet. He was different. Very in tune.
Physically, yeah.
Yeah, very alternative. Like I like it.
Yeah, I remember the big thing was he never did weights.
Yeah.
And
No,
he
I
was
remember
in
that.
shape and ripped as shit.
Ripped as shit.
Yeah. Part of that's genetics.
Oh, show.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we start doing 2,000 sit-ups a day? 2,000 push-ups a day. Let's do it.
So how long would that take? So if you do 100,
I'd have to have 2,000 naps.
so if you do 200 an hour, that's 10 hours. So you have to. So
200 an hour. Okay.
So that's 100. Let's say you'd have to do 500 an hour.
To do 2,000.
And that'd be 4 hours.
Yeah. I mean, you can rip off 20 push-ups in probably 4 minutes.
But if you know what, if you're doing 2,000 a day, you could probably get it done quick.
That's what
You
I'm
could
saying.
probably
That's
rip
exactly
off
what
200
That's
at
my
a
point.
time.
I mean, you got
That's
to think
my
about
point.
it.
Yes.
If you can do 50 push-ups in a minute.
Not a minute, probably like 3 or 4 minutes, but your point is valid.
No, I mean, no. Think about it. If
No,
you're,
back in the day
if
when I
you're
was
able
doing
to
it,
do it,
I was
you
able
should
to
be
do 60
boom,
in a minute.
Boom, boom,
Boom, boom,
So
boom.
can you imagine? I mean, I've dropped it down to 50. So 10 minutes, there's 500.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And if you do that, 3-4 times a day, well, that's 2,000.
Yeah. Then you have to work in 2,000 sit-ups.
Well, you got to get one of those little special benches.
Here's the thing. I hate sit-ups. I can
And
do
then the wheel.
I can
You
do
did the
push-ups.
wheel.
Push-ups all day long. Not a big deal. Sit-ups, I hate them.
Push-ups hurt my
I've
shoulders.
always
You know what?
hated them.
You know,
I've
what I
always
hated
hated
worse
them.
about the sit-ups. You remember the presidential badge you used to get as a
Oh,
kid.
yeah.
The presidential
Yep.
test where you gotta do so many push-ups.
Was that
and-
Bush?
No,
No,
No, it was way
that was
before
way
that.
Reagan?
before
Yeah,
Bush.
Reagan.
No, it was before Reagan. It
Really?
was- oh yeah, it's in the
It
'70s.
was in the 70s. I remember doing it in grade school.
Yeah,
So that would have been
Carter.
yeah, Ford
Ford.
or
Nixon.
Yeah, it was back then. It was the presidential
Tricky Dick.
athletic. It was the
It was a
presidential something.
presidential physical fitness test.
Oh, even
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger was.
Arnold.
He was that guy.
So you do the shuttle run. You do the 600 yards. You
There's
do
a rope climb, wasn't there?
I don't think there was a rope climb.
Where was I when you guys were
There was
doing this stuff?
in Indonesia.
Thailand.
Yeah.
It really was.
Thailand.
Hold on. It really was a thing you guys did as kids, like in high
Yes.
school, like what? In,
Dude, I
It
lived
was
in
in Germany.
hold
It
on.
was
In elementary
it was
school.
a
I did
PE
in
gym.
Germany in
Gym
You
I
were
had-
just-
and I had it.
okay, so this was a school thing. It was
Correct.
a PE school thing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't do that shit.
And you know what? Here's the difference too
You just did kung
between
fu?
men and
We
women.
did kung fu.
The girls, they didn't do pull-ups. They did that thing where they pull themselves over the bar and they hold it.
What? Hold what?
They hold themselves over the bar. Like, they take the bar and they pull their chin so it's up over the bar. And
Right.
you sit there and they time it to see how long they can hold it up.
Right.
So they basically have to do one.
They do one and they just hold it there. And I remember
Didn't we just have a conversation that they have their own role and
Yeah,
maybe
I mean, it's-
maybe doing 1,000 set of pull-ups is not their role?
Yeah, but I remember back then, dude. it was a champ. But I agree with you. I was kind of driving there because I remember the worst thing about the sit-ups. I mean, I could do the sit-ups,
Hate 'em.
but the thing that was funny is I was very gaseous for some reason because I just remember just
for
going
some
up and just-
reason,
No, you've always been.
yeah, you realize nothing has changed. Like literally nothing. As a matter of fact, it's gotten
Oh,
worse.
It is so funny.
We go
I
to the gym
remember
and he's like,
I
I'm crop
went to
dusting.
a
Yeah.
boot camp. I went to a boot camp with your wife. Your wife was teaching the boot camp,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember
Is that
it
when
was
you were care flighted?
No, what? No. So I went to a boot camp, and I'd get up at 4:30 in the morning. It was
Oh,
ridiculous. And
I think that's impossible for you to do now.
oh, fuck all that. So I would get up at 4:30 in the morning, and I would go and I would do it. All right, and I'd work out, and I'd do it, and I remember we were doing the sit-ups, and
You just ripped it.
me, I don't care. The women were.
Oh.
They were just farting and I was just like, good God, man. And they were powering through it, and I was just like holding their feet, and I was like, this is going
All of a sudden you rip it. They're just like, God, Sean.
No, mine was just
Stinks.
like, I was like,
But it was cold out, so you see like the steam coming out your ass.
I tell you what, though. So
Shelly had a good program, though.
she did, and I remember the gym was closed. I play basketball, right? And so the gym was closed that week, and she's like, "Well, just come out to boot camp during that week, and that way you can keep working out at the same time. It wasn't a big deal." Anyway, so yeah, I go out there, and they all have their mats, and they do their thing, and I'm like, okay, no big deal. This is gonna be a joke. You know what I mean? And then and then they do this, and then they do this thing where they on the curb. They, 1 foot, 2 feet up, boom, 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 like going up and down off the curb, right? And so I'm sitting here doing that, and I'm looking over in the corner of my eye, and the girl next to me is like twice my speed, right? And I'm like, oh, hell no. And so I like match her speed, and she goes a little faster, and I look over and I match her speed. I couldn't walk the next day. It freaking destroyed me. I finished it, but I was like sucking wind and dying and all that kind of shit, and I literally couldn't walk
And
the
the
next
girl's
day.
just like,
Yeah, she's
on
like,
the next thing.
she's like, stone weir this, bitch.
I did. I worked out. I did well with Shelly's class, and I ended up failing around the 5th week because
You can't fail.
no,
you can
I
just
failed.
give up.
No, well, I had no choice because we started doing the long runs, and then I had blown out both my calves.
Oh.
Lack of stretching, whatever, water, and I
Yeah,
ended up,
we don't do any of that shit. We suck at preparation.
oh man, so
Yeah.
I ended up
We
taking
we
off.
don't think it's necessary for
and
some
it
reason.
was the
I do. I stretch.
the
Sean doesn't
first
believe in stretching.
two, you can feel it. The first 2 kicks, like
You're
1,
done.
2, and I was like, oh, both of them fucked, and I couldn't even walk. I was like, and
Is
I
that
was
like when you were bowling? when we went bowling?
No, it's far worse than
And
that.
you,
But yes.
and you had some weird hip thing going on.
Yeah.
I was like, Sean, you all right? He's like, I'm fine. I go, why are you standing all weird? I'm fine.
No, it was really. It was. No.
My hip trumped.
Yeah, that's kind of what it was. It was my leg and thigh was all fucked up, and
he
I'm
finally
just
came
like,
up.
I'm
He's like,
so embarrassed.
Yeah,
I'm
he-
like, what happened to you? It was an accident bowling.
He kind of strolls over weirdly, and he's like, I'm in a lot of pain.
Call 911.
It
Don't
sucks
make a
getting-
scene.
Sucks getting
I-
old and
I
out of
think-
shape.
I
It's
think
terrible.
one of my testicles is laying in the gutter over there.
So bad.
No, really. We gotten up there. It was Paul and Alan and I, and we got up there, and Paul and Alan have their balls out. Let me rephrase that.
Scroots.
They
Yeah.
purchased their own bowling ball, so that's all this really nice ones, and it's all polished and galaxy looking, and kind of like sparkles. And I get the regular old pink ball because it's like 9 pounds, 10 pounds.
Right.
And I get up there, and I'm just like trying to, just stretch and kind of like whoop, get in there, and all of a sudden it's like. And I hear this, and I was like, fuck. It's done. It's deal breaker. It hurt for like 2 weeks after that. I mean,
So bad.
Did you
fucked me
pull
up.
out? Did you pull out the little ramp that the
Yeah.
I
kids
wanted
use?
to. But it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing because I'm like, how did you hurt yourself? Oh, I was bowling.
All right, I just got a text that said, how is it possible that Abbott is trailing? That can't be true, right?
Oh my God.
Somebody else said, no, I show him as leading.
Well,
look that up real quick.
Well, first of all, the GOP is leading by 1 currently. So let me pull up
There's
Texas.
no way that Beto beats Abbott. I'm sorry. There's absolutely no way. That would be the biggest fraudulent election in the history of fraudulent elections. Although, Beto made an impressive showing against Ted Cruz. A scary showing.
Well, they dumped a shit ton of money
I know.
into Beto this time as well.
Yeah, they, like outside the state.
Correct.
I love that.
And I tell you what,
I just love that.
in this neighborhood, I don't see any
No.
Abbott signs, and there's Beto signs everywhere.
Well,
Are you kidding?
No.
As of 2 minutes ago,
Oh my
Greg
God.
Abbott is up by 52.8, over to 46.1.
Okay.
So look, they're close. They're
We're-
within 200,000.
Well, we're still fine. Oh my God. I will lose my shit. I will lose my shit if Beto is our governor. Unbelievable.
I'm amazed on the amount of people that are voting for him, for Beto, for Beto.
He has no qualifications at all. Like literally at
But
all.
it trips me out that
At all. No
people are
qualifications.
still voting for Democrats, period,
I don't
with
get it.
what is going on.
It is
I know
low
it.
information voters. We pay attention. 90% of the people in this country don't pay attention.
All right. Anyway, we'll touch. We'll circle around later in the podcast, and we'll have some better numbers, and maybe it won't be so bad. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, well, you
You-
got Mark Tippett's Libertarian. He's at 0.8, and you have Delia Barrios. That's at 0.9. Actually, you got 8,900 votes. You know,
What about the Hispanic lady down there who won the provisionary seat, and she's going up against Gonzalez?
She's not in. She has to go again right now.
Yes, she's up against Gonzalez right now. for
Oh,
this.
I didn't know that.
It was provisionary until this election.
Oh, I was really excited to have her in. I mean, she's the one that the Hispanic caucus said, no, sorry,
Yes.
you can't get
Maya Flores.
in. Unbelievable.
Maya Flores is her name. Yes.
Yeah, I want to know about that race because I find it very encouraging that she won her primary. And no, it was more than a primary. She ran against
She
the
won.
Democrat.
She won the seat
Against the Democrat.
because either the guy left or died or something. He left. Whoever was in there is no longer there. So they had another provisional race to have a rep in there for the last 9 months or a year or whatever.
But still, she was
that's
up against the Democrat.
correct.
And they have been Democrat for 100 years down there. Or
she-
something crazy.
And she won.
Okay.
And now they've had redistricting, and she's going against the incumbent
Well,
Gonzalez.
currently she's up. So it's
Yes.
Monica De La Cruz against Michelle Vallejo.
No,
No,
it's
different
Maya
people.
Flores.
Maya Flores.
What? This is the 15th congressional district for election results.
Yeah, that's not the right
Monica
one.
De La Cruz.
No.
No.
Who are you looking at?
It's Maya Flores.
And let's see. She's the first Mexican-born
Well, that's when
woman.
she won
Yep, the provisional.
the provisional, right? So I don't know what she's doing. I don't know what the race looks like now.
Yeah, I don't know what it looks like. Go ahead and click on Maya Flores for Congress, right there. Maybe it'll get. She'll.
Oh, hold on. So she's in the 34th district. She's not in the 15th district.
Right.
Holy crap. So the votes are not in currently. So Maya Flores is against Vicente Gonzalez. Wow. Right now, there's no results, and it's showing 0.
He's one of the few Democrats that has been critical of the White House and the way they've been handling the border.
Because he has to. He's
He
down there.
has to.
Well,
yes.
he's definitely against the wall. He does not want that wall for whatever reason. He says it's a waste of money. I've heard him say that.
Well, but like I said, he's been critical.
But hiring 87,000 IRS agents is not a waste of money?
No, it isn't. That's important. Yeah, yeah.
Fuck.
I'll tell you what,
Giving
if I-
Ukraine
just looking at
$100 billion? All
I know.
right, let's pull
No,
$5 billion off of that and build the wall.
Actually, it's not that much.
Well,
Not that much. How much are we giving Ukraine, though? I mean, because it's starting to be a concern.
No.
I think it's like $10 billion.
No.
It's more than that.
It's
No, it
way
isn't.
more than that.
No, I don't think it is.
Oh, dude. No.
No,
It's
I'm
way
I'm
more.
pretty sure. Look it up. Ukraine
No, dude.
military aid.
They're about $50 billion
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
bigger than that.
It
At
can't
least.
be. It's crazy.
They had one bill that passed that put in $35 billion.
Yeah.
One bill.
Yeah, one bill. Pull 5 of that off
Are you going to
and build the
look
wall.
that up for us, Mr. Producer? Ukraine military aid. I'm going to get angry on it.
So Representative Vicente Gonzalez, Democratic Party, who currently represents a neighboring district, is widely favored to win against Mayra Flores. But you know what? We'll see. I'm kind of wondering why the results aren't in, or why there's no results here so far.
Oh, they said that's one that's going to be solved in 6 weeks.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be in this article. I'm just looking for the total amount of money that they've given to Ukraine so far.
Yeah, just
And
Google,
it's insane how much they've given them.
just Google how much money has the U.S. given Ukraine.
Yeah, there you go. That'll work.
But it's more than 10.
Is it really?
Yeah,
It can't be $100 billion.
maybe not quite. It's probably over 50.
That'd be 1/10 of a trillion. So
That's a lot. That's a lot of money. Well,
Anyway.
I also heard that a lot of not a lot, but there's other countries starting to provide
weapons.
military weapons.
Oh yeah, no. I just read that they're giving air defense system.
And tanks.
Well, and they're was it Poland? No,
With
Czechoslovakia.
the javelins.
No, check this. Czechoslovakia has given them like 52 or 90 different of their Soviet era tanks.
The first one was $40 billion.
Oh no!
That was the first one
Oh my God!
back in May. $54 billion.
$54 billion.
See,
Take 10% of that. Give it to the wall.
I mean, right now Arizona's putting shipping containers.
And Biden sued them, saying you're trespassing.
Unbelievable.
What's the motivation there? You got to let them through. Let them through. Why would?
They're
Why
angry.
would
Yeah,
you
they're
accept
angry
it?
that they're. You know why they're letting them in, because at some point they're going to give them. They're hoping that they're going to retain power, the Senate and the House, and they're going to give them what do you call it? Amnesty,
Right.
and they're going to give them citizenship, and then guess what? They vote for Democrats forever. Forever.
No, that's what they want.
That's what they want. That's the way it usually works.
Well,
That's the way it usually works.
There are factions that will do that, but
Yep.
there are certain Hispanics who do not vote like that because Hispanics are typically conservative,
And they're generally free thinkers too.
correct? Like the Cubans.
I love that.
Like the Cubans.
Oh, the Cubans do
Did
not want a repeat of anything that has anything to do with authoritarian.
Well, if you remember,
authoritarian.
when there's a big bunch, there's a lot of Cubans coming over. Mayorkas says, "No, you need to turn around and go back."
Yeah. Because they vote Republican.
They didn't say that to anyone else, but
They
they
vote-
said it to the Cubans.
They vote Republican.
That's right.
It's an outrage.
so there's a map on the United States, or there's a map of Texas.
Okay.
And they're showing the current lead for the
Flores?
Congress. All right. So they have basically 2 districts because, I mean, all of Texas is
Red.
almost red. You know,
Yeah, except for the
very
four main cities.
the very tip. There's like Corpus, south of Corpus Christi, and directly south of San Antonio. And I think both of those. I think one of them is 15, and the other one is 35. Right?
34, 35, 34. The one you said Flores is in?
Yeah, 34th district. Yeah.
34. Yeah. How can you be? Oh, doesn't matter.
Well, they cut up those
and this
lines.
is the problem. All the cities are blue.
Correct.
Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, and Houston. They're all blue.
Well, that's amazing because you brought up the governor election for like Greg Abbott and O'Rourke, and if you break down by county, Tarrant County, for example, Abbott is up by +4.
Mm-hmm.
In Dallas, O'Rourke is up by 29%.
I mean,
Dallas is a big liberal city.
how ridiculous
Bexar
is that?
+18.
It's so ridiculous.
Travis County
That's Austin.
+51.
That's Austin.
All right.
Yeah,
So
that's Austin.
Yeah.
Do
So
Harris
you've
County.
got-
Do Harris County. Houston.
There's Hidalgo, El Paso, Brazoria, Galveston, Nels, Bell, Smith, Cameron, Jefferson, Ellis, McLennan, Harris, O'Rourke 24 plus
Unbelievable.
24.
Unbelievable. That's unbelievable to me.
Yeah.
And that's how they plan on taking over the whole country. Is because all the people are in the cities, and they're blue.
Yeah, but Abbott. Oh my gosh! I mean, the percentage though. If you look at the percentage, when I'm saying the percentage of each county, Abbott may have less than 10% of, like, they've got listed here probably 50. Abbott's got less than 10 of those.
I don't know
And
what
it's a
that
lot
means.
That
more
doesn't
than-
make sense to me.
Well, okay,
No.
so I've got like Loving County, King County, Trinity, Wood, Borden, Roberts, Brosco, Lipscomb, Glascombe, Cottle, Ford, Palmer,
Okay.
Coke, all the way up.
Those are all for Beto?
They're all of them. I mean, you're looking at probably
That can't be.
75 different counties that are listed here, and less than 10 are for O'Rourke. Less than 10.
Oh.
Right, but that's where the population is.
Sure.
That's the problem.
Yeah, that is the problem. But
No,
look at,
that's no different than the presidential election. You look at the map of the country, and it's overwhelmingly red. Overwhelmingly
Well,
red.
look at California.
But except for
My county,
yeah, even California. Excellent point.
San Francisco, L.A., San Diego,
We're-
blue, everything else red.
Yep. Geographically, overwhelmingly red.
oh
That's
my
why we-
gosh,
that's
look
why
at
we-
El Paso. El Paso is screaming liberal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
That's why we have a constitutional republic
That's
and the
exactly
electoral
why.
college.
Because we will not allow it. Like, for example, in Texas, we will not allow 4 cities in Texas to dictate the politics of everyone else in the state.
Correct.
It's the same concept as a electoral college.
Is that what Texas does?
No, but
no,
I'm
it's a
just saying.
popular vote in Texas, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. But I'm just saying that is the mentality of the electoral college.
Correct. Because
Right.
there are counties in Oregon who want to leave and become a part of Idaho.
Same thing for California.
Yeah.
Same thing for California.
And it's on the ballot, I think,
I love it.
to leave Oregon and become a part of, because they're like, what they believe in Portland is not have anything to do with what we
It's the
think.
exact same thing about San Francisco, L.A. Nobody outside the city believes that either.
Right,
And they have tried to do exactly what you're talking about, get it on the ballot.
right.
Because I mean, imagine how frustrating that would be
Yeah.
to have no say-so in the crazy-ass, liberal, radical, defund the police, and, soft on crime, overspending, overregulation, and you have no control. No control at all. No control.
Yeah.
Right now, Herschel Walker down by 3%.
I like it. I like it so far.
He's down by 3%.
I know. That's okay. He's within striking distance, and I think, well, we'll see what happens. God, George has always been
So
weird.
So Florida, Marco, they got 88% reporting currently.
Already?
Marco, 88% reporting. Marco Rubio's up 57% over 41 over Val Demings.
Excellent.
Good.
What about
DeSantis?
the governor? He
Christ.
He should. Chris is a former Republican.
Yes, he's a hack.
What a. Oh, he's another Liz Cheney.
I think there's a theory out there that he went down there to be complete disruption, and then he'll get a ambassadorship when this is done.
Great.
Basically, he's a sacrificial lamb because he's been saying some crazy things.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, it's just.
Well, there's a red check says Ron DeSantis wins 88% reporting.
Does it say by what?
Um.
Do they pay $8 a month for that?
Oh yeah, he's Ron DeSantis 59.3% vote count is over 4 million. The closest one to him is Charlie Crist, and he's got 2.9 million.
Yeah, they're saying he's going to destroy Crist. All right. Well,
No.
do we have time to talk about dead people?
No, we'll do that in the
No.
second half.
Second half?
Yeah.
Because we're closing in on 8:30, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Because I could use another bourbon.
Yeah, Sean's just milking his shit over there.
Well, I'm not a loser, so
No, we're losers because we finished it.
You're a loser, baby.
yeah, I am a loser. Here it goes. Bottoms up, guys. Hey, very good. And this
It
is
is.
I thought it was
a
really
classy
good.
bourbon, and we're gonna. What is the name of the bourbon?
French Lick Whiskey Witch.
French. What is the name of the
You
bourbon?
don't have to say the French lick part. You can just say whiskey witch.
Whiskey Witch by
I can't read
French
that far.
Lick Distilleries.
Oh my God.
Anyways, dudes like us, it is election day. Forgive us for chatting too much about it, but
I
you know
know.
what?
It's
It's the
hard.
spirit of it. It's what dudes like us do. It's going to be a boring
We've
ass
been waiting
segments
for a
people.
year for this night.
Yeah,
2
we're going to
years.
explore. We're going to celebrate it too as the night goes on. Dudes like us, I'm Sean.
My name is Pablo.
Raul. And Jeff, if you didn't hear
Yeah,
that.
dude,
you
And
gotta
our
do it.
fantastic Mr. Producer, Senior Austin.